Hey YouTube. So I've picked up quite a few new subscribers. Thank you very much to all my new subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And to all my old loyal subscribers who've been with me for a long time, I really appreciate that too. But my new subscribers have a lot of questions about FrankenTruck.
Cold to start a fire, I'm burning diesel, burning dinosaur bones.
Questions like, what is FrankenTruck? How do I know if I have a FrankenTruck? What if my wife finds out about my FrankenTruck? Is it contagious? So I thought I'd answer some of those questions. Kind of tell you what FrankenTruck is, why it's called FrankenTruck, and some other questions that I tend to get. Come on, let me show you around. Let me pop this first. Let me show you around. Alright, what is FrankenTruck? FrankenTruck is called FrankenTruck because it is made out of pieces of old dead trucks. The box, it's off an 85 half-ton two-wheel drive short box in 79. They never made a crew cab short box. And they rarely made a four-wheel drive crew cab. So this is a bit of a custom creation, one of a kind of my own here. The cab is a 79, originally two-wheel drive, originally 454, turbo 400, that's 3-speed automatic. It is now the venerable Cummins 5.9 liter turbo diesel 6BT. This motor and the 5-speed NV 4500 came out of a 94 Dodge 3500 two-wheel drive dually. We'll go down under and take a look at that here in a second. Yeah, the front clip is off of an 85 or something like that as well. So the cab, they did change a little bit in 81. And so that was a bit of a challenge to make that all work. These doors, the front doors are off of a Suburban. Both of them are off of different Suburbans. The rear doors, the front doors are power. And they're not totally wired in yet because the cab wasn't originally power. The rear doors are still the old manual doors. Those are actually the original doors for the cab, which is kind of odd. But I do have some doors back there that are power doors, but the doors are shot, but all the power stuff's good. So I'm gonna basically take the guts out of that one, put it in this cab. This front axle, like I said, this truck was originally two-wheel drive. This front axle is a Dana 44 out of a 73 3/4 ton Chevy. Long box, standard cab. And that cross member I fabricated to accept the Cummins 2nd gen factory motor mounts, which you can barely see in there. Yeah, I did put that panhard bar on there finally, and it has definitely improved the steering. It doesn't try to climb one way or the other when you steer it. Because I have crossover steering now. Factory four-wheel drive steering would be push-pull, which would be an arm on this spindle over here, but the crossover steering gives you better, less bump steer, I should say, more consistent steering across. And some of those parts are from Fords, some of them are originals that I fabbed up, like this end of the panhard bar and all that bracket. Obviously that's all my fabrication. Front shocks are from the rear of a F250, F350, I don't remember what year. The springs are, I bought from a guy who didn't know exactly what they were for, but I could tell by the measurements that they were for this, or for a square body, but they're kind of junk. So the second leaf in there is actually a original rear leaf out of this, because they were starting to sag already and it wasn't sitting straight. After I kind of got most of the suspension done and stuff, I was looking at it and it looked a little off. I don't know, I think it leans to the driver's side. But now it actually sits a little bit high on the driver's side, which is fine, because there's always going to be a driver, and that will get worn out first. And there only sometimes is a passenger. So anyways, yeah, long story short, I decided to leave it a little bit high on the driver. Not that the driver's high, but you know what I mean. This front grille, radiator support I guess I should say, and the grille are out of one of the first square bodies that I had, which is kind of what this one is going to be themed after. It was an 86 Chevy K10. For those of you who don't know the Chevy nomenclature, Chevy GMC, K is 4-wheel drive, C is 2-wheel drive, except for 1 year, a couple years. And like 10 is half ton, 20 is 3/4, 30 is 1 ton, except for GMCs were 15, 25, and 35, and then they were the first ones to go to the 1500, 2500, 3500. I don't remember what year that was. The wheels, they're just aftermarket wheels, but I did have to do a lot of work to them to clean them up, and yes, they're pretty dirty and grungy now, but I spent several hours polishing these bad boys up one weekend, and they still have some issues, but the price was right on them. Those are Humvee tires. They are the ozone rated ones. If you can see the OZ down here, military OZ. So that makes these a 37 by 12.5 by 16.5s. So not super wide, but I don't want it super wide. I want it to be able to dig in when I need it. Real quick, I'm going to go back here. That is a shackle flip. That top shackle hanger here was actually the original 2-wheel drive front hangers. These I fabricated. I mentioned that in another video. Up here you can see my lap joint there, where we cut the frame, lapped it, and then it's also boxed on the inside. These shocks actually are for like a straight truck or something. I don't know. I just went by specs, and I knew that I wanted a heavy duty shock, so I got the Monroe 65 series. It does ride pretty rough, but whatever, I'll deal with it. So that's the original G80 locking differential in there with 373 gears, which are kind of hard to come by for 14 bolts. Okay, let's go down under. Okay, there's the NV4500. There's a better look at the cross member that fabricated up to use those original 2nd gen motor mounts. That's the other end of my panhard bar. Here is my Bluetooth drive shaft. And there is the NV4500 from the Dodge. And it was a 2-wheel drive Dodge. So there is this jack shaft in between to a NP205 transfer case that came out of an international pickup. Going back here through, this used to originally had a 2-piece rear drive shaft. So basically I separated it at the joint there, the slip joint, and that's where I figured out where to put the placement of my transfer case. So yes, the transfer case is a long ways back, and that's kind of what this is for, and this will eventually get hooked up to the shifter in the cab. Yep, right back there to my 14 bolt. Another look at my spring hangers here. This is all 1/4 inch plate. Let's see. What else is FrankenTrucked about this? Okay. The brake booster, master cylinder. They're off of an 85 Chevy 3/4 ton. The ubiquitous big honkin' air filter. I can throw a part number down in the doobly-doo if you're interested in that. This one happens to be a Wix. Radiator fan actually came off of a 2000 Pontiac Bonneville that I have retired. The transmission went out on it. Of course, that 3.8 liter is still running great. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something with that someday. Hood, obviously that is a aftermarket hood. It's not a cowl hood or anything like that. It's just a factory replacement style hood. Yes, it is kind of light, but that's okay. These headlights are actually aircraft headlights. They're kind of a spot beam. If you notice, there's no DOT sign on here anywhere. Don't tell anyone. Let's see. Oh, we can go inside here. The seats, they're also out of that Dodge. This column, I believe, is an 84 column. My gauge cluster. Yep, I'm reworking it a little bit. I don't know if you can tell in the video, this is very foggy. I need to take this all apart and figure out how to polish this. I've tried toothpaste, I've tried rubbing compound. I don't know. I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but if you guys have suggestions on how to polish this to get it nice and crystal clear again, I am ears wide open. So my mirror there is out of like a 99 Tahoe or whatever. I do have the sending unit for the outside temp, and it's got the compass built in, and so I just need to wire that up. And then way down underneath a bunch of crap is a overhead console out of the same generation of Tahoe, Suburban, whatever, but I may actually get a different one for that. Yeah, this clutch pedal assembly, that is for an 80s something, but it is not for a hydraulic clutch. So I modified that. Let me see. You can see my custom bracketry up there. So I modified that to use that clutch master cylinder, which is actually like a Ford master cylinder. I don't know, it's kind of the standard deal when you're using the stock Dodge clutch, but the stock Dodge master cylinder doesn't play well with anything. So, and yes, this is the second wiper motor that I've installed, and it's crap. So I don't know anybody who makes a good wiper motor. This battery, yeah, it's a 27 series. I need to get something different. I want to get the dual post 3478 series because I know it'll bolt right in there, and I have this which needs to attach still, and I need one more battery over there before winter, before the grid heater starts being necessary. Yes, vacuum brakes, and that 94 Dodge did have original vacuum brakes as well, and there's your vacuum pump right there, which behind is a power steering pump, which I think might be low. Oh yes, I did a rear disc brake conversion. I did buy the brackets to mount. Oh, you guys can't see, so let me try to spin this around here. So these brackets I bought. I thought about making them myself, but I was never going to get that angle right. But these are factory SquareBody 3/4 ton calipers. So basically the same as the front would take. Only I modified the front axle to take 1-ton calipers. Yep, they bolt right in for the most part. Bolt pattern is the same, but you got to do a little grinding to make them fit. So essentially I have 1-ton brakes on here now, even though technically all crew cabs, SquareBody crew cabs, are 1-ton chassis anyways. Oh. Somebody's angry up there. So, oh, and this flip over gooseneck that you saw me install in another video, that originally came out of Dodge, so the frame was wider. So modified that, which you saw, or didn't see, or are gonna see, or whatever. Bumper is still the original 79 bumper, but I did make new mounts. Let's see, what else? I don't know. I don't know what else. Hard to think of everything that I've done to it. Oh, in the front differential, it's also 373 Dana 44, but it's got a limited slip out of a Jeep rear Dana 44. Yes, they do fit. There are differences between Dana 44s. There's a lot of Jeeps that have a Dana 44 HD or something like that. They are totally different. Ask me how I know. And so this, you got to make sure that you get the standard old-fashioned Dana 44. Oh yeah, and this steering arm over here. Yeah, I did buy that as well. That is for this application. So not all Dana 44s have the top spindle, which is flat. So this one, it was milled flat, and then we drilled it and tapped it for the studs that go in there, and got that mounted up. And you guys saw me last year install this I wouldn't say drag link, but it's a tie rod. So that is actually like the sort of upgrade one that came in 85 and later. So technically not for this axle, but it does fit. You can see I made these front spring mounts. I basically had to fab them up after I'd done the shackle flip on the rear, and then I had to figure out how to set the front height from there. The front spring shackles, my own fabrication there as well. I should mention, I don't really weld any of this stuff. I have my buddy do all that welding. I'm not a good welder. Somewhere back there, yeah, those are my two doors. And then I've also got Nerf bars, which came off of a Dodge crew cab, but really the only thing that's different between Nerf bars are the mounts. These front lights, they actually, here, I'll just flip them on quick. So those are LEDs that I custom wired so that they would flash. Those are LED, like the 4-inch round truck lights that I modified the back to put those in. So I can replace them, but I shouldn't probably have to. LEDs should last for practically forever. Well, that might be it for now that I can think of. So there you go. That's FrankenTruck. I'm about out of breath. If you have one, let me know. I want to hear about it down in the comments. If you've got a video of one, post it up. I want to see it. I am not into fancy bot stuff. I love stuff that people make. Custom fabrication, do it all yourself type stuff. So, oh, I guess I should mention the paint scheme. It's going to be black with silver down the bottom. Because like I said, the truck that the front grille came off of, that's how it was, and that's kind of the truck that I still have, that I'm still in love with in my head. So there you go. Thanks for watching.
It's a 60, 61, 62, 63, 64.